Hey everybody, welcome to Chapter 12. We're taking a look here at Lessons 3 and 4 today, and what we're taking a look at, we're going to continue this focus on what do people have to sacrifice in war, and of course to this point in World War II, we've been talking about the time frame between 1939 and 1941, and we're going to continue to kind of push beyond that point and take a look here in terms of the sacrifices people make in terms of ending the war. What is it like to kind of end this war from 1942 on to the end of World War II in Europe and in the Pacific? So we're going to start with just a real quick brief mention or reminder of where we are. What we have here to take a look at, I should say anyway, is this little map. Which shows you what Germany was like before it started to go all crazy in the late 1930s with the beginnings of World War II. So you can see in red here, you can see Germany right there in kind of pinkish red. You can see Austria, which it had retaken, this little area here from France, and this area here of Czechoslovakia. These are the areas that it took before World War II started. So that by the time World War II gets underway, the time period we're talking about, 1942 on to the end of the war, Germany is now the area in blue. And you can see that it and its allies have expanded tremendously, right? Every place here that is in blue is in a German or Italian presence, and that is enormous. You can see just the sheer amount of land that the Nazis and the Italians, as the Axis powers, have gotten a hold of. So that in mind, since France falls in to Germany in early 1940, June of 1940, and you see Congress really kind of looking at this and going, man, we better get ready for this. We better get ready for the reality of war, because heaven help us should something happen. We're going to need to be ready, right? And we know that FDR was looking for a reason to go to war. He said that he would find that reason to help Winston Churchill and Britain out. So given that reality, you're going to see FDR really kind of begin to look for how can we prepare America for this war, and he's going to introduce the Selective Service Act. So essentially what you're going to see America do is prepare to draft men to fight, and to fight somewhere around the world. Essentially, these people are giving up their right to volunteer because they will be drafted. Expand this, right? In 1941, just a year later, Hitler has now invaded the Soviet Union. He's miles away from Moscow. The Soviet Union joins the Allies. It joins Britain and France to fight off Germany, Italy, and Japan, the Axis powers. But the reality is that you just can't go as America or just Britain itself and say, we're going to go invade Europe. There's absolutely no way. It is just too strong. And we're too weak. The Germans, the Italians, the Japanese, they have battle-tested troops. We don't. We have rookies, people that haven't had to fire a weapon yet in battle. So as 1941 moves into the early part of 1942, after Pearl Harbor happens, America has to figure out where can we go to help Britain, help the Soviet Union, kind of take some pressure off of them, but do it in a way where we're not going to get crushed. So we're going to have to attack Germany somewhere. We decide to do that on what's called the periphery, or the edges. So first step is to draft all of these people and put them through training. This is a draft card that you would have seen. This is a selective service card, a draft card, and you can see the number. That's your draft number right there. This is the person. This is John Thomas Harrison from New Bern, Craven, North Carolina, wherever the heck that is. So this is the card he would have gotten. It would have shown him drafted into the Selective Service, and he would have gone off and gotten trained, and now we have to figure out where to send this guy to fight the Germans and the Italians. So we end up deciding to attack first the edges, because the edges are going to be a little bit more susceptible to invasion. They're not going to be as heavily defended as France or Germany. So the first place we'll pick will be right here North Africa. This will be in November of 1942. We're going to attack North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt. You're going to see us invade there first on the periphery. And then once we attack that kind of edge of the German Empire, then we're going to attack what we consider the soft underbelly, Italy. And then we'll finally head towards Europe itself. So we're going to kind of take baby steps. We're going to kind of baby step our way into Europe itself. So this Selective Service Act, this draft, now we have millions of fighting men and women. Our invasion of North Africa will begin then with those women under the command and those men under the command of General Dwight Eisenhower, who will later become president. The fighting is rough. It is difficult. America will win. And for the first time, the Germans will see a major defeat at the hands of the Americans as they retreat from North Africa. So we're going to see here on this map that this little area right here, that we had talked about, that little area is going to return to the Allies. It's no longer going to be something that the Germans will control. It'll be red again, belonging to the Allies. So that little area will fall. So slow and steady wins the race, and ideally that this first attack on the periphery can lead to further defeats for the Germans. At least that's the plan. Let's see how it works out.